All right, welcome everybody. It's Big Nard, and it's another Sun Tzu Art of War nugget. So we're gonna go over another one of the nuggets. This is part 10, and we're on chapter 4. And we just got into chapter 4, and we will go over. Let me get this going. Hit this, and what we'll be doing is we're going back over some of the. Now this is on page 87. So to finish up where we left off, they were basically saying those who are insufficient should defend, and when you have strength and abundance, you can attack. And it's not weak or strong to wait, but to be to defend. And it's not doesn't mean weakness is defense and strength is attack. It's just there's a time for each one. So if you're not uh, adequate to attack, if you're not abundant or insufficient to making a move to attack or an aggressive move, then you actually sit back and wait until you become aggressive. So that's part of the assessment aspects and also knowing yourself. All right, so let's go ahead and get into that. I'm gonna be for those who don't know, the war book we be reading. These are nuggets, and what we're doing is a 30-minute reading, and we'll just read as much as we can read for 30 minutes, and we're gonna go through the whole book. But so you can read nuggets and watch the nuggets. You can watch them independent of other nuggets because the commentary is pretty concise. It's recommended to go through the beginning and go to the end, but if you just wanted to jump through nuggets, feel free to do it. Also, if you have this book, you can pull it out because I'm reading directly from the book. I'm telling you the page that we're on, and the caption is one of the lines of Master Su. And so what we do, again, Master Su makes commentaries. He was born in 500 BC, a warrior, led an army of 30,000, defeated, I think it's the Chu warrior, the Chu dynasty or the Chu's troops, defeated his troops of 300,000. So when he's talking about these tactics, these are real tactics that he used, and they also apply to different aspects throughout your life because you just follow the concept. So these concepts, these foundational concepts, can be applied to any aspects of your life, business, your job, whatever, relationships, anything. So even though they're talking about war, look at it from a warrior perspective and know that it's this should be applied to throughout your life. All right, so let's go ahead and start this. Those skilled in defense, this is Master Su. Those skilled in defense hide in the deepest depths of the earth. Those skilled in attack maneuver in the highest heights of the sky. Therefore, they can preserve themselves and achieve complete victory. So let me see. Those skilled in defense hide in the deepest depths of the earth, to not be found, I guess. Those skilled in attacks maneuver highest heights of the sky. Therefore, they can preserve themselves and achieve complete victory. Now, these comments, because when he's saying the lowest depths, because he talks, he mentions things about ground and terrain, right? So, the hiding deep is now from hiding in skilled defense. Hiding deepest depths of the earth just might be using the term of hiding your form, hiding your vulnerabilities, hiding if you're weak, hiding your weakness. If you're weak, appear to be strong. If you're strong, appear to be weak. So hiding your attributes that are not favorable for a victory, right? So you definitely want to be hidden if you're not in a position to achieve victory. But those who are skilled in in attack maneuvers, they maneuver in the highest heights of the sky. So when you attack, first of all, when you're talking ground, you want high ground, right? So normally high ground has the advantage. Low ground has the disadvantage. In a defense position, you are at a disadvantage, right? So being the aggressor is it does give you advantage of inflicting damage because defense normally you're taking and you're suppressing. You're trying not to take damage, but normally you're being attacked. That's why you're defending, right? So the people who are attacking normally are the ones that are initiating things that can create damage or cause problems. And so that's why you need to be adaptable and know when to strike and when to retreat. So, but again, if you're those who normally attack, you normally attack when you're prepared and when you feel that you have the advantage. And then so you attack on high ground as well. High ground gives you advantageous. And also, he's probably reading the highest heights of the sky. He's just talking about your morale, everything about you is heightened and is elevated at a higher level. So you're running at a higher energy, higher frequency. So those normally in defense are normally at a lower frequency. So that's my take on it. So let's see what these other guys have to say. So Cacao, his comment is they hide in the depths of the earth by taking advantage of the fastness of the mountains, rivers, and hills. They maneuver in the highest heights of the sky by taking advantage of the times of nature. Okay, that's really referring to terrain as well. So Du Mu says in defense, you hush your voices and obliterate your tracks, hidden as ghosts and spirits beneath the earth, invisible to anyone. On the attack, your movement is swift and your cry shattering, fast as thunder and lightning, as though coming from the sky, impossible to prepare for. Wang Ji says defense here means lying low when you do not see any effective way to attack. Sinking into stillness in recondite silence, not letting opponents find you out. Attack is for when you see an advantage to aim for. On the attack, you should be extremely swift, taking advantage of unexpectedness, wary of letting opponents find out and prepare against you. So those are the comments about that. So then we're on page 88 now. To perceive, this is Master Sun, to perceive victory when it is known to all is not really skillful. Everyone everyone calls victory in battle good, but it is not really good. Wow. Yeah, so this is a good one. So to perceive victory when it is known to all is not really skillful. To perceive it. So you're perceiving is the perception of victory when it is known to all is not skillful. Yeah. Everyone calls victory in battle good, but it is not really good. Well, now this one, I don't I don't understand where this one's coming from, but here's my take on it, just from what I understand of reading. Any victory, and this is a victory when it is known to all, is not really skillful. So you're basically going up to you're attacking an opponent that already knows is defeated. So I'm assuming that's where he's going with this one. And then everyone calls victory in battle good, but it's not really good. Because first of all, battle in the art of war, so the whole concept of war is to actually not get into any battle, is to avoid conflict. So the number one echelon of war is no conflict. Battle is the worst part of the battle, is when you lost, everybody loses in a battle, basically. So it's not good when you're in a battle, period. I'm talking about if you get into a fight with somebody, arguments, fights, it's not good. Once it gets to that point, everybody loses. You know what I'm saying? So many different aspects of it, but that's my take on it. So physically or getting into when it goes to a battle is pretty much the last resort. When you get into actual conflict, that means you've done all diplomatic measures, all acts of reasoning, understanding, negotiation, communications is out the door. So now you're actually at a point where you deem it necessary to go to battle or cause harm to someone. So it's not good. And then there's basically a victory that everybody knows you would have won. It's not something to brag about, right? So that's my take on it. So now let's see what Zhang Yu says. What everyone knows is what has already happened or became obvious. What the aware individual knows is what has not yet taken shape, that has not yet occurred. Everyone says victory in battle is good, but if you see the subtle and notice the hidden as to seize victory, where there is no form, this is really good. I don't even understand that. But if you see the subtle and notice the hidden, so as to seize victory where there is no form, this is really good. Okay, so he's giving an example of when it's good. So Wang Ji says ordinary people see the means of victory, but do not know the forms by which to ensure victory. So now these guys are over my head right now because I don't understand what they're saying, but I'm assuming that they're over my head. Because if I don't understand, then it means these guys must be on another level. These dudes are generals that are responding, or people who led armies. So Li Quan says everyone can easily see armed conflict. This takes no skill. Knowledge that does not go beyond what the generality knows is not really good. So Jia Lin says firm in defense, victorious in offense, able to keep whole without ever losing, seeing victory before it happens, accurately recognizing defeat before it occurs. This is called truly subtle penetration of mysteries. Right? So now this response, I'm kind of lost. My take on it is I'm lost. Um, if anybody get, if you throw it in the comment, if you could have any ideas of exactly what they mean, but because it's a little, because I'm reading what he says, perceive victory when it is known to all is not really skillful. Everyone calls victory in battle good, but it is not really good. And then so their response is ordinary people, this is Wang Ji, right? Ordinary people see the means of victory, but do not know the forms by which to ensure victory. Yeah, so I don't understand how that kind of relates to what Master Su's saying. So I'm gonna take that one as over my head. That's like this over my head. All right. So like I said, if anybody could bring clarity to it, throw it in the chat, and we'd love to hear it. Because this is some good stuff. So like I said, you guys got any additional commentary, anything that is of significance, definitely throw it in the chat. Because share it with everybody. Because I'm sharing this with everybody. Just so it's not just me saying to you. I'm definitely encourage you to get involved, and we want to hear your insights as well. At least I do. All right. So now let's go to the next one. And we will say, it does not, this is Master Su, it does not take much strength to lift a hair. It does not take sharp eyes to see the sun and moon. It does not take sharp ears to hear a thunderclap. All right, that's cool, man. Yeah, it doesn't take much strength to lift a hair. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. It does not take sharp eyes to see the sun and moon. It does not take sharp ears to hear a thunderclap. Man, man. Like everybody can see the sun and moon. For the most part, everybody's strong enough to lift their hair, and everybody can hear that thunderclap. Now, in regards to formations, doesn't take a sharp ear to hear thunder. Does not take a sharp eyes to see. Doesn't take much strength to lift the hair. So now I have no idea what he's talking about. But I guess when he talks about his last statement, everyone calls victory in the battles good, but really it's not. It's probably the same thing. All right. So, and I remember, I kind of like in what my commentary on it. Now I think this is tying into my commentary, which made what I said. I think for me it connects it a little better, because in here he's just saying that it's not impressive to even be in a battle and call it good. Victory in battle is being good. It's not. So now he's saying it. So now I think that's what he's connecting it with this one. It doesn't take much strength to lift the hair. So like and then when I was saying that it's something that is not impressive if you already know that you could beat them already, like to that extent. So lifting if they're weak. All right. So I think this is what he was saying. And so I think my commentary was pretty much connected to this. If you're weak, you're attacking a weak person that you know you could beat easily. It's not impressive, right? People at things that are obvious is not impressive to go, oh, I know what's obvious. They're not impressive. So I think that's what he's saying. It's not actually impressive to um, victory over weakness. That's my take on it. But maybe that's my take. So let's see what others say. So Wang Ji is saying what everyone knows is not called wisdom. Victory over others by force battle is not considered good. Boom. So now they're making sense. All right. So a military leader of wisdom and ability lays deep plans for what other people do not figure out. This is why Sun Tzu speaks of being unknowable as the dark. And that's all that commentary on that. So that's pretty interesting. So now page 89, where Master Sun says, in ancient times, those known as good warriors prevailed when it was easy to prevail. In ancient times, those known as good warriors prevailed when it was easy to prevail. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that yawning because it's 5 a.m. I've been up like almost every one of these, I think, except for today, earlier today, I've been doing these at 4 or 5 in the morning, even 6 in the morning. So, I'm always, that's with a yawn. So pardon my yawn, but that's because it's like 5 in the morning Eastern time. So in ancient times, those known as good warriors prevailed. Huh? Did I miss one? Wait a minute. Hold on, something's not right. Because I'm looking at, this says page 89. And it says, therefore. Oh, I must have skipped one. Let me see. Yeah, okay. I forgot to write one in. All right. So that's why I'm looking. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, I forgot to type this one in. So we'll just, it's still on page 89, but I forgot to type that in. Let me actually make a note of that. So, yeah, just give me 1 second. I just want to make a note of that. Just so I don't, actually, I'll just type it in. Sorry about that. So page 89. Missed. And I'll just know to fill that in later. All right. So, sorry about that. So in ancient times, those known as good warriors prevailed when it was easy to prevail. Now, I'm going to take this as when he's discussing when to attack, right? You attack vulnerabilities when you're invincible. That makes it easy, right? So it's easy to prevail when you do all. In fact, this goes to everything he says. When you do all of the assessments, all of the planning, all of your due diligence, and you do everything, and then you see that you have victory, and then victory is easy, then you're a good warrior. Good warriors will prevail when it's easy, because you're gonna hit at the most opportune time. So that's a good warrior, to pick the best time to set up an attack and claim victory. That's my take. So let's see what Cal says. Find out the subtle points over which it is easy to prevail. Attack what can be overcome. Do not attack what cannot be overcome. All right, so yeah, we're on the same page. So Dumu is saying when the strategy of opponents first makes an appearance, you operate secretly in such a way as to be able to attack it. Since the effort used is little and your assurance of victory is done in a subtle way, it is said to be easy to prevail. So that's pretty much what I was saying. So Dumu, pretty good one. Zhang Yu, if you are only able to ensure victory after engaging an opponent in armed conflict, that victory is a hard one. If you see the subtle and notice the hidden, breaking through before formation, that victory is an easy one. All right, cool. All right, so now we're on this one here. Still on page 89, but this is the one I skipped the other comment. I didn't realize it was 2 comments on the page. So because I was going through the pages. I didn't like, I read this book a long time ago, but I didn't, I forgot 90% of this. So when I was just going through it, I was basically skimming to type these in. So just typing these in, I didn't read the commentary or anything. So this is me literally reading it for the first time, making comments and stuff. So, all right. So let's get back in. We got 20 minutes. Therefore, the victories of good warriors are not noted for cleverness or bravery. Therefore, their victories in battle are not flukes. Their victories are not flukes because they position themselves where they will surely win, prevailing over those who have already lost. So victories of good warriors are not noted for cleverness or bravery. Therefore, victories in battles are not flukes. Their victories are not flukes because they position themselves where they will surely win, prevailing over those who have already lost. Okay. And this goes back to saying knowing the weaknesses and attacking at the most opportune time. So yeah, this is connects. These are all interconnected. So a good warrior, again, is going to see the vulnerabilities. They're going to be invincible. So when they go in, therefore it'll be easy. So they're not known for cleverness or bravery because they went in and took victory because they knew that they were winning before they even went into battle. So this was all of the assessment, the preparation, battle plans, and everything. So they already, before they go into a battle, they already know they won. So they're not just war. In fact, it's not wise to walk into something that you don't assess and you win victory when you don't know victory is gambling. This goes back to like stock market and stuff. The more due diligence you do, the better outcomes you have. Then it becomes less luck, right? So the stock market allows the more research and things you could do and understanding about the nature of the market, the nature of the organization that you're investing in, the more likely you'll know the success of that investment. Like a good example, like Apple, right? Apple stock. 20 years ago, Apple stock was always a leader. They were always constantly innovating and leading. As an example of a company that, if you was investing in it, you do the assessments. You pretty much can tell investing in Apple is a pretty safe bet, right? As opposed to like back in the day, WorldCom, giant behemoth company, went out of business, right? Examples of that. But if you did your research, would have known that it's most likely this company may not make it if they doing unscrupulous practices, right? Just as an example. All right, so that's the gist. So my take on it is exactly that. They already win before they win. So you don't get the bravery and the cleverness because the people don't even see it. They went in and did victory easy because they put in the hard work. And that's one of the things they talk about. People who put in hard work, and we call it grinding, you see the results of it, but you don't see what they put in to get it, right? So it looks like they just were blessed. I'm not saying this goes to everybody or every situation, but for the most part, when you're seeing people who are great at something, it's because they put in a lot of work to be great at it. So things that it looks like it's natural is because they've done it so many times that they become experts at it. And that's all of us have the ability to do that. In fact, to me, that's how humans learn, just through repetition. Consistency and repetition, you can learn anything, right? So, but that's the key. And doing things that most people don't want to do. And go in war. The soldiers who train the hardest, who study the most, who practice their skills, who hone their skill the most, put in the most time and effort in training and everything, you normally become better. Now, you know, when you're looking at things, you can also have it from the pessimistic side, right? They're saying, you know, oh, we are trained, but then, you know, you have genetics, you have this, you have that. Yes, you know, those do take factors, but every individual is an individual, right? So you be the best you could be, and that's it. Everything else doesn't matter. And even if you're if you go 100% nothing left and you go beyond and push beyond your threshold, you can actually overcome some of the talents or other things that people would use as a means to say that they're lucky. No, you can actually do it. In fact, if what is I heard something that talent practice or training beats talent every time. Yeah, think of something like that. Like, so a person who's talented but doesn't train will might maybe have the potential to be way better than you, but you may actually overcome the person that has the talent because you put in the work, or you put in much more work than the talented person. So that equals the playing field in that sense. You have that ability. We all have the innate ability, and this is what they're talking about with war. In war, or in the military aspects, you have the opportunity to be better based on not just everything, it's just on how much you dedication, how much persistence, how much hard work you put into things, right? So, and that just goes with business, like everything goes that way. A lot of people put in heavy work, but you don't see it, right? And then I noticed that there's a lot of people that want things, but they don't want to put in the work, right? So, hey man, I don't want this medicine because it tastes nasty. I'd rather eat the candy. All right, candy or medicine. It's harder to take nasty medicine, but if it's going to help you, then the benefits are there. So people want to be helped, but I don't want to take that. Yeah, but that means you don't want to be helped. You'd rather take this because it's easier to take. So things that taste good are much more that are very palatable are much easier than things that taste nasty. And it's funny, like even me as an adult, there's things that are nasty, and it is funny. I actually was tried baby food. Like I have a daughter, and when she was like a couple months old, she had baby food. So I said, "Oh, let me taste it." Oh my god! When I tell you, it was the nastiest. It was so disgusting. I'm looking like, how is she eating this? Like, I was impressed, man. I said, "Listen, man, my daughter is a couple months old, and she is more thorough than me." Because I'm going, she's eating this stuff and like loving it, and I tasted it like this is the most nastiest stuff. First of all, I guess I listen. That's why I don't make baby food. That's why I'm not in the baby food business. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, that if I was owner of that company, I would have threw that stuff. All of it would have went in the garbage. Because I'd be like, this is disgusting, but it's not for me, right? It's for babies. For some reason, babies don't know any better. That stuff is disgusting. If I had to go and eat that diet right now, I'd be in trouble as an adult. And I'm a discerning, I'm fairly in some level of intelligence, right? Like I'm not, uh, I'd have trouble if they say, "Hey, this is what you got to eat for the next 6 months." It's gonna be a hard road. I can accomplish it because I can do anything that I put my mind to, and so can you. But the thing is that right there, baby food. My daughter's like babies, not my daughter. All those little babies that eat that food and like it, powerful. So they put in their work, man. I just had a little tangent. So actually, I'm gonna wrap it up there. What did I? Yeah. So that's pretty much it. We'll close it out on that. Um, yeah, that's like, yeah, that's like, yeah, that's wow. So that's basically what Sun Tzu said, and oh wait, you know what? I'm sorry because I do. Let me just as I'm looking, I think I just went over. I just think I went over what I said. I didn't even go over the commentary. So let me just finish the commentary of what everybody else said, and then we'll see where it comes in, right? So Maya said, "Great wisdom is not obvious. Great merit is not advertised. When you see the subtle, it is easy to win. That what has it to do with bravery or cleverness?" Okay, this is what they're writing about. That's my take, man. My daughter's brave as hell because they're eating that baby food is crazy. Ho Yang Ji said, "When trouble is solved before it is formed, who calls that clever? When there is victory without battle, who calls that? Who talks about bravery?" And this is so. So what I was saying in my commentary, there I don't know if it's skipping out. Let me make sure it's still. Let me just double check to see if it's still recording because I look like the screen I saw it go blank. So I just want to see if it's still recording. So it still look like it's live. All right. Yep. Still moving. Okay. Cool. Sorry about that. At the same time, like I'm testing this, so I just wanted to see if there's any pauses or delays because my screen it did something, so I just want to make sure we were good. So that's what Yo Yang said. When trouble is solved before it is formed, who calls that clever? When there is victory without battle, who talks about bravery? And that's what I said. Great warriors, they do it before it even is seen. Now those who fight without even fighting is the ultimate. That's the ultimate warrior, right? So you won the battle before a battle even started. You don't get considered. You're not considered brave or anything. Just like in the beginning, the doctor, his eldest brother, was was curing people before they even knew they had. Like he looked at you and said, "Hey, something's wrong with you," and then he don't even tell you anything. He just said, "Hey, well, try this or come over and have this." You drink that, and it fit, and it solved. Like he's healed you from cancer. You never even knew it, right? His other brother, when you don't feel good, he tells you something, and then he stopped the cancer before it gets big. But the younger brother, in that case, you already have the cancer. He gives you chemo. He does all of this other stuff. So then, he helps you, but he's the one that's known. He's the one that you want to go to. Well, if you got cancer, this guy will extend your life. He makes you live better, more comfortable. And then he says, I'm the lesser of my elder brothers, because my first one, you won't have cancer. He stops it before you don't even know that he stopped your cancer. So he's not known. Nobody knows who he is. They don't realize that he's saving people before they even need it. The second brother, when you start to feel funny, he solves it before it becomes a deadly cancer or very cancerous, right? And then, but he's the one that everybody knows because when they have cancer, they come to him, and then he extends their life. He's considered the great one. He's the most known and most famous one. So that's what that's similar to what they're saying here, where the great warriors, they're not considered brave. They're not considered clever because they won the battle before the battle even started. So even if they went in, they already knew that it was going to be won because they did those assessments. They did all of the hard work. They became invincible. They understand and analyze the enemy, found out the vulnerabilities, when to attack, when to retreat, all of that, all of those methodologies, they understand it, they live it, they breathe it. And then so I got two more. Zhang Yu says, secret plotting and covert operations sees victory in formlessness. No one hears of the knowledge that assesses opponents. See, I said assesses opponents and ensures victory. No one sees the success of those who take the flag and assassinate the generals. The way to be able to win without fail is to see when opponents are in vulnerable formations and then disposition your forces to prevail over them. So Li Quan says, when the army is old, the soldiers are lazy, and the discipline and command are not unified. This is an opponent that has already lost. Remember, so this all goes into the same things. But listen, we'll finish out here. That was pretty good. I definitely appreciate everybody for being here. Thank you for listening. Definitely appreciate you. Any comments? Throw them in the chat. If you got any questions, actually just share your knowledge. If anything you have to add to this, please, I'd love to hear it. And I appreciate you. I want everybody to have a good night. I'm saying good night, good morning, because Sun Tzu is a global book. So hopefully it reaches everybody that speaks English around the world. And that's it. So we're closing out. Have a great day. Good morning, good night, good afternoon, everything. All right, take care. See you next time. All right, bye.